Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today we're taking a look at Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Now this is the new turn-based RPG game that literally just dropped. Rumor has it that a couple devs from Ubisoft left the company, ganged together and came up with this game without any restrictions on their artistic direction or what they do within the game. And it's supposed to be a pretty good one, so let's talk about requirements first and then we're gonna jump in. So the minimum requirements are as follows: Intel Core i7 87000K, 8GB of RAM, at least GTX 1060 6GB version, and these specs would allow you for Full HD 30 frames low settings gameplay. For recommended specs, the requirements are obviously higher: Intel Core i7 12th Gen or Ryzen 7 5800X, at least 16GB of RAM, RTX 3060 Ti 8GB version or AMD's Radeon RX 6800 XT 16GB version, and these recommended specs will allow for Full HD 60 frames high settings gameplay. Now you might think that, for 12th Gen i7 3060 Ti and that's Full HD 60 high settings is kinda, a little bit of mismatch. But to be fair, this game is made in Unreal Engine 5, so to be fair, Unreal Engine 5 in general is rather taxing on the CPU side specifically, so even though we have a 4070 Ti and 32 gigs of RAM and game is running from NVMe drive, I do not expect 99K to actually perform too well, because honestly it's just like a smidge above, if at all, in regards 8700K, in my opinion at least. But nevertheless, let's look at the settings. So we're going with the Epic preset. Scaling type is set to DLSS. You only have three options here: TSR, DLSS, and Intel's XES. Scaling mode is DLAA, which is deep learning anti-aliasing, and resolution scale is set to 100. If you switch to DLSS as a regular downscaler, you essentially go all the way up to 60-ish% for resolution scale, which is the quality mode, and there's no such thing as native and no upscalers. So one of the things I find a little bit odd, also no frame gen, no FSR3 support for this title. Maximum frames are unlimited, vertical sync is disabled, we're going full screen with 2K native, and apart from motion blur being disabled, anti-aliasing and everything else is on Epic. Now, one thing I want to touch briefly is the DLAA. Honestly, I think this is a bad idea, but since we're maxing games out anyway, I'll leave it for now, because DLAA will take the 2K frame view and it will just go over it again in exactly the same resolution essentially. So it's kind of like, it's not exactly multi-sampled anti-aliasing, but it's close to it because it needs to do exactly the same image within the same resolution. So you probably will take a penalty when it comes to GPU performance. I would say if there was an FSR implementation, I would probably go with FSR3, because DLSS on quality, it's either a hit or miss, depends how you look at it. But yeah, let's start a new game and see how it goes. I kinda know how it goes, but my mic died out half of the video, so I'm not gonna be, pretending I'm very surprised about the frames. I've seen this before. I just want you guys to see it as well. So let's just start a new game, and I'm just gonna delete this and I'll shut up. And if you hear someone banging around, neighbors are putting up a brand new roof, because they literally have no roof, so you kinda need to let them put the roof on. So let's start it and see how it goes. Also, the loading will be a little bit long, even though the game is running off from NVMe drive, but hey, it is how it is.
If you're gonna give someone flowers, you should probably do it before they wither and die.
What, the flower? Or Sophie?
Ooh, dark. Sophie would approve. Hey, you said it, not me. The others are waiting for you. You're supposed to be helping with the festival.
With what? Putting up 3 tables? They'll manage.
You underestimate Lumiere's enthusiasm for the expedition. There's at least 5 tables.
Marvelous.
Have you tried throwing with your other arm instead? If you could hit the paintress directly, that would actually be useful.
You know, hobbies don't always have to be useful. I'm enjoying the uselessness of today and readying my usefulness for tomorrow. And soon, we'll get to do a lot more than throw rocks.
That's what all the other expeditions said, too.
Hey, you know they gave their lives to lay the trail for us, right?
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Yeah.
You still got a flower to give, no?
Yes. Just... I'm not sure how to start. After 4 years apart, what do I say to her on the day of her gamage?
You're asking me? I don't know. Sun's about to set, so be direct. Hey, Soph, been a while. Could we...
Right, so here we are, and what do we see? We're pulling 7.8 gigs of video memory allocated, 11, almost 12 gigs of RAM, and we're sub 60. And this is what I say when it comes to Unreal Engine games. I understand that you could go on about bottlenecks all day long, and you know, it runs fine on my system, but just visually this is the highest preset you can get. And you can clearly see this weird blur around the objects, and obviously the main protagonist model is kind of well made, but there's no hairworks involved, so it looks kind of a little bit flickery, and this is with DLAA. So as I said, I mean, the main emphasis in this game is essentially for combat, I would want to say, because end of the day this is where it shines, and you know, obviously the storytelling and the world itself, I mean, everything's kind of like half broken, and I'm not gonna go into the spoilers for how long I've played the game, but you will kind of understand how it all goes. So
I'll accompany
let's
you
just
there.
run.
Are you ready to see her again?
Yeah. Been ready.
And yeah, like areas like this, 46 frames. Now on the bright side, there is no stutters, no latency, no dragging, no, you know, no delay in whatever you're doing, even though you're only getting 40-ish frames. But to be fair, the GPU usage is 97%. Like, the CPU is kind of crunching the numbers, but the frame rate you kind of want it to be a little bit above.
I set up these
You know, the combat
shortcuts.
is not exactly, you know, fast-paced, so to say.
sister,
So
though.
we
I
will
sort
see
of
that in a second once we go through the tutorial.
From the Expedition Academy.
But
Wish
yeah,
I had them when
I was
I
gonna
was
say
working as
you
a
can
courier.
easily drop down to high and you'll be absolutely
Come on,
fine.
Gustav, speed up a bit. Sophie will have already gamaged by the time you've arrived.
My head.
Can't believe Sophie already turned 33. She looks so much younger than you.
Thanks.
She's popular. I'm sure she already has a necklace full of flowers.
I can imagine. What?
You look tense.
Yeah,
I know what you need. A little jewel.
no.
Come on, it'll loosen you up. You can't go and see Sophie all somber and tense. And if you win, I'll give you something you can use with your Lumina converter.
All right, you're on.
Yes!
So we're not gonna use any tutorials because, you know, doesn't matter this early in the game. So, this is the combat essentially, so there's no running around, no flipping about and stuff like this. There are a couple things you can do. You can dodge, you can parry when the enemy attacks, and you can essentially use your skills and attacks. So just gonna hit her with the skill and just see what she does.
This was weak.
No shame losing to a superior fighter. Hope your Lumina converter works better than your dueling.
Ooh, running out of things to do to her, fair enough.
For those who come after.
You won. Now, don't you feel better? I see your smile. All right, now, let's go find Sophie. I saw her near the red and white tree.
Yeah.
So that's essentially
The plaza is
the combat,
lively.
which is
Why people like to celebrate the gommage is still a mystery to me, but oh well. The red and white tree. I've always found it beautiful. I don't really understand. You and Sophie broke up so long ago. But clearly you never got over her. Why'd you wait until today to say something? It's a bit late, isn't it?
so yeah, from this point on it's gonna be just a little bit of cinematic stuff, and I wanna say technically, in all honesty, if you drop down the quality from Epic too high, and from you can even leave the DLAA enabled, you can just go all the way to DLSS. You don't even have to go to DLSS, to be fair. Like DLA and on high you will be pretty much above 60 frames most of the time, rather than being constantly under 60 frames. And I believe that this game, it does look good when it comes to, you know, the artistic style, like how all this feels. The audio is very good. The combat will, obviously, for people who like turn-based games, you will enjoy it more than people like me who like just pew pew guns. So, but outside of that, you know, like, I must say, for some guys to just grab the first available thing like Unreal Engine because they don't have access to Anvil or Snowdrop anymore, and just come up with a game with a story, with music, and, you know, the combat system, skills, and progression, I must say, you know, this is not a bad thing. I mean, we definitely need a bit more of these, because this is essentially the experience of the people showing off here. But of course, we're not really leaving any footprints or picking up flower petals as in best Ubisoft things. So yeah.
The last few days meant everything.
Can we talk?
Gustav. I love you all.
That's for your, If there's room.
There's always room.
You know,
I
I'm
missed you.
sorry that... I
You
miss
don't need to...
too.
Okay.
You go.
No, you.
You know how I feel? I wish things had been... You know, I often think... Another path, you know, another future.
Still can't finish your sentences, can you?
Yep, that hasn't changed.
I missed that. I never faulted you for wanting to believe. You're fighting. To change things. I understand, just... in a different world, right?
We'll break the cycle, so she can't steal anyone else's future.
Stubborn people change the world. And you are the most stubborn person I know. Thank you. Walk me to the harbor?
Yes.
So, as per usual, you have quite a few things you can interact with and just essentially do the stuff, but at the same time, as you can see, the main character is modeled very nicely, but if you go to some other characters, they're kind of slightly lacking. Now, we're going to see some crowd people as well, and you will see what I mean by that, because the crowds, man,
I can't imagine what you're going through.
they definitely saved some budget on the crowd modeling.
I'm fine.
And then again,
I've lived
it's not that you're going to
33
see the
good
crowds
years.
24/7 in this
Look
game.
around.
Let's just be real.
We've
here.
had our whole lives to prepare. We're all
We're going straight for the
fine.
harbor, and
mostly.
I'm
yeah,
not
because
fine.
this is the best
You
place to
will be.
actually run around and just see how the light and everything else scatters, and you can see the crowd people are just slightly not touched up completely, but yeah, still within 50-ish frames, you know, on Epic, no upscaling. I would say pretty solid attempt, and there will be probably a performance patch anyway, just to slightly optimize the pipelines for the Unreal Engine, maybe some shading, maybe something else, and I think you're gonna be easily playing this. So yeah,
Oh,
is it
Luna's
required
playing.
to have top-of-the-line system
You
for
two would
Unreal
make a
Engine
cute
5? Well, these guys
couple.
might have just proved you wrong.
If you
I
say
mean,
so.
Sometimes.
considering
I feel
or
sorry
comparing
for her.
with Alan Wake 2,
Who?
which is
The
was still
paintress?
unplayable on launch.
Look at her.
It was Unreal Engine 5
She
natively,
looks
then I must say for a
sad.
couple guys to just, well, couple guys,
she's
I
a
use that
prisoner
term very
too.
loosely,
Stuck in the
to
same
come up with a
cycle
full
us.
world, build it from
Silly
scratch, and still get
only
playable
you could
frame
choose
rate
empathy at a
on
moment
Epic.
like this.
That's
It's one of the
pretty
few
cool.
choices I can make.
I couldn't do it.
It's okay. You don't have to.
So yeah, anyway, I would say, you know, grab this game if you want. Now it's going to be a bunch
I've
of
always
cutscenes,
loved the harbor.
and after the cutscene we will just finish it, and yeah, anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments down below. What do you think about this? Is the performance what you expected? Were you waiting for this game? And you know, let's get the ball rolling. Start the bottleneck crusade in the comment section as per usual.
I see you're apprentices.
Oh,
Gustav!
What?
here. Sophie asked us to bring you your coat. We sewed up the sleeve so you don't have to keep rolling it up.
You guys know how to sew?
Sophie helped us. Turns out it's not that hard. You really should have done this ages ago.
You did this?
Gentlemen, that was supposed to be between us, yeah? I wanted to do something for you.
Soph. Thanks, guys. This is great. Thank you.
See you at the festival?
Don't leave without saying goodbye.
Yeah, of course not. What? I know that face.
You mean a lot to them. I can tell.
Yeah, they mean a lot to me too. Legacy can take many forms, right?
Yeah,
You told me that.
right.
Why?
I wanted to see you wearing it.
Oh, you like uniforms now?
This too is your legacy.
In a way. It's yours too. I'm here.
I know. I know.